Hi there. Just wanted to do a quick video on my thoughts of the Rocket RC1212. This is a small motor. I have it mounted in my SCX30. It is very similar to a hobby wing, but it is not a hobby wing. I thought it might use the programming card from a hobby wing. They're very similar. I was unsuccessful. I did have to buy the Rocket RC programming card, but it programs exactly the same as a hobby wing. At about half the price. I think I paid about $46 for this. So I have a different outrunner probably in every single one of my RCs, especially the crawlers. I buy different ones just to see what they're like, if I like them or not. This one's pretty run-of-the-mill. It's very much, like I said, seems a lot like the hobby wing, which is one of the ones I actually don't own. Here's an Ascent 32. I have a very similar 1212 brushless system in it. I believe this one is an NMRC, and it was about the same price. The differences in these right off the get-go, this one is AM32 or FAM32 programmable, which means you hook it up to your computer via USB through the wire, through the plugs here, and you can program it through that. This one, like I said, uses a programming card. So if you're more comfortable, I actually like the AM32s a little bit more. I believe it gives you a little more programming features than these do. But this is a lot simpler. If you don't have a computer, you know, the AM32, you have to download that program. It isn't just, it's free, but you got to figure all these things out. Versus plugging in a card, a reader, programmer, and it just working. Other than that, I mean, it seems quite fine to me. I'll put a battery in it real quick and we'll fire it up so you get an idea of how it runs. Didn't I just drop that battery? Bear with me for a moment while I locate the missing battery. Okay, well, I'll just take it from this one. They're the same. As soon as I'm not looking for it, it'll turn up. That's the way things go. All right. Even the beeps and tones are very similar. All right. So I'll just kind of show you the SCX30s are geared extremely low. And this being a 3500, even when it's screaming, it just doesn't go very fast. That's top right there, but there's a lot of... But yeah, the slow crawl, even with the brush motor on this, was exceptionally good. It's ridiculously good with this. I was thinking about possibly changing the gear ratios on this a little bit because it just seems a little bit too slow. The top speed, just from there to there, doesn't change a lot. It's pretty flat. Versus, say, the Ascent 32, which was way too fast with the brushed motor. But now with a brushless, it really makes a big difference. I actually prefer the way the Ascent 32 feels. It's faster. There we go. And I'll show you here the difference. So it's still got its slow crawl. But a lot more speed. Considerably more. I'm working on a top secret front axle on this. It's not really top secret. All I'm using is SCX30 universals, universal joint axles instead of dog bones. And I've cut them down to fit. I've shortened them so they'll fit inside of the Ascent 32 axles. The original ones are pretty chintzy. They break really easy, and it broke mine almost instantly once I put a brushless in this and a little bit of weight. But you can see it gives it pretty good steering angle. These are still not perfect. I made a mistake when I put the knuckles through. I ground them down to fit the original bearings, and I shouldn't have done that. So I've ordered some new ones, and I got new bearings that fit the outer diameter of the axles from the SCX24, which is 2.5 versus 2 millimeters. I tried manually with a Dremel and spinning the axle to grind it down evenly. It didn't turn out perfect. It's wobbly. But I should be able to eliminate that altogether with just using the right size bearings. I know I kind of got off topic here. This is an Ascent 32, and the video is about the brushless. But there's not too much to say. It's a pretty good motor. The price is great. And if I had to choose between the two of them, these two 1212s, I would probably go, I don't know, it just depends. They're both basically the same. It's really up to how you want to program it. If you like the AM32 versus using a programming card. I believe they were about exactly the same price, and they're about the same. And if you're wondering how I made these fit in here, well, that's another story. I ended up pulling the stock pinion off of the Ascent 32 and the SCX30. I have a tiny pinion puller, which is a great little tool if you're into customization. Mias makes it, and it allows you to easily pull off pinions that are stuck. And so I reused the stock pinion gear and then just drilled them out a little bit with the proper drill bit. And then this also can pull, and it can also press gears back on. I would have liked to have had a new pinion gear. That I wouldn't, I don't like having to hack things together, but sometimes it's the only way. It seems to work pretty good. It's just, it's important that you get it centered, otherwise it'll be wobbly. But yeah, the 1212 Rocket Gecko Mini 24. I'll give it a thumbs up. It's a pretty good motor. And the price can't be beat for $46. Now, there's a lot of these budget motors out here. The 1212s are nice because they'll fit the micro crawlers. For the SCX24s, here's one with you can see that in there. It's another off-brand that I bought, Rinjoy, and it's also AM32. I can't quite open the lid all the way on this one because it's got rear steering. Pretty cool. And then I believe this one also has got the AX32 here. And it's got the Furatech. You can kind of see it in there if you really look. There it is. The Furatech. And I believe it's also a 1212 motor. And I tell you, it's pretty noisy and whiny. I don't know if they all are. And I do like the Bluetooth. This receiver or ESC has a Bluetooth pairing, except for mine doesn't work. It worked for about a week or two, and I've contacted Furatech, gave them a video, showed them all my problems, and I think they're sending me a new ESC. I don't know. They sent me an email saying that, but they didn't have my address. So anyways, I sent them my address realizing they didn't have it. We will see if a new one shows up. It's programmed for this, so it's not really that big a deal. But, you know, the whole point is that you can see your telemetry and, you know, use their Furacar app. Well, and if the Bluetooth doesn't work, well, then it doesn't work. So I'd rather have something that I can program that's reliable than a gimmick. But to be honest, maybe I just got a bad one. You know, I have one other car with a Furatech motor, and it doesn't have the Bluetooth. It has a more of a manual programmable card. So this is my only one with Bluetooth, and I don't know. Maybe I just got unlucky. We will see if Furatech comes through with a new one. I sure hope they do. All right, well, that should be good for now. I think I went a little bit long. I just wanted to do a few minutes and ended up running like almost 12 minutes now. All right. Have a good one.